In three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Barrera Studio Lounge, number two. The journey continues, ladies and gentlemen. Disclaimer, welcome to the lounge. The podcast will include language, stories, jokes, copyright music. I love this song, so don't come after me, music police. Follow us at the Barrera Studio Lounge, all lowercase, and I updated it because now we are out of the change. We are starting new clips Mondays and Fridays. I got something to tell y'all later on. It's a bit of an appreciation. Listen for free on YouTube. I'm not charging you. I want to come to Spotify as well, so that is coming soon. Brought to you by Ornelas Productions. He's got the BSL stamp because he was here last year. The Life After High School podcast, number 39, The Journey. But the journey continues. He is a film director, DFW, videographer, and editor. Commercials, documentaries, short films, acting. Hablo español. Woo, mexicano. Sí, señor. He's got all this going on, man. And we're also brought to you by him. He's got some cool stuff. I love what he did on his profile, from the new parties, posts, showtimes. It's a lot of editing, guys. Y'all got to go check this out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Ornelas Productions, all over there, all over your screen. Go follow him. And he's also in the title. Add him on YouTube. That's awesome. So, how are you, sir?
I'm good, bro.
Hell yeah, Alfredo. I'm good, man. I'm good. Let's turn off the Earth, Wind, and Fire right quick.
Yeah.
Man, after a year,
it's a good song. Yeah.
It is such a good song. After a year, you are back. How have you been since last year?
I've been good, bro. I've been just a lot of editing, you know.
Yeah,
a lot of work.
We were talking about that. Like, I don't want you to reveal too much, but like, you said you were just experimenting pretty much with like different editors and cameras and different things. It's like you said before. It's like it's crazy that you pick up as you learn, but at the same time, you're just learning. You know, all this stuff was set out. But it's a matter of finding it and also finding your own groove on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's like, especially in the editing game and like filmmaking, like there's so many right ways to do it. Like there's not just one way. Like,
yeah.
So that's kind of not the hard part, but like you can have all the tools in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, like, say there's like 5 different filmmakers and they're all gonna have the same tools, right?
Same tools, same camera,
everything, but the result is going to be completely different
due to the person.
Yeah, the person. You got to find your niche.
Yeah,
you know? And
that's just all what it is. And our niche is acting.
Yeah,
acting pretty much. So, what have you done so far with acting, like acting wise, in this last year?
Acting. I've done a few short films. I did one with I did one in October.
In October.
It was a cool short film for a little. They submitted it for a road. It was a road challenge or something like that.
Road challenge. All right,
yeah.
all right. Was it horror in any way or no?
It was not a horror. It was kind of like a suspense.
A suspense type of film.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Shout out to I forgot the name of the studio. Let me look it up.
Shout him out, man. Because like when you say October, it reminds me of like a couple years ago when I went to Goatman's Bridge because I was helping some people. Like we were gonna submit a film for like a contest in October, and the caveat was that whoever was like editing, planning, it had to be a one-take suspense film, one take only. Yeah. So whenever there was a mess up or someone not, doing one thing, or the director himself, he wanted to change something else, or as a director, you're always going to be wanting to change or see what's the best.
Yeah.
And that was the reason why we didn't leave this haunted bridge until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to get it right.
You want to get it right,
yeah.
And at that time he felt, oh, we got it right, so now we can leave. Like other people were like, oh, let's leave. It's dark, it's scary, it's 12 o'clock at night, and he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like there are some people that just, that's their niche and they grab onto it tightly.
I'd say I'm like that too. Like I'm pretty obsessed about it.
Obsession. That's the thing you said, right?
If I gotta stay up till. If I gotta go without sleep, like to finish it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Until I get it right.
That kind of reminds me of the Conor McGregor. He was quoting Vincent Van Gogh saying like, I lost my mind doing what I love.
Yeah.
Like he put so much effort into what he was doing that you lost your mind in the process, but he didn't care.
Yeah.
He didn't care because that's what he loved. And maybe to him or whoever, like whether it's Conor, Vincent Van Gogh, anybody, if they're not doing what they love, even if it's almost a detriment, they might go even crazier without it.
Yeah,
that's weird. But
it's weird, bro. Cause like it's crazy. It's like a crazy thing to do. Like
yeah.
It sounds crazy. Like you're making videos. Like it's a crazy dream.
Yeah,
know?
It's crazy.
But it's as you start doing more work, like you realize like holy shit, like you can actually go somewhere if you just
Hmm.
stay consistent with it and you just keep doing it, and that's how you make progress. You
And
know?
a prime example how like anything could happen is on Twitter. Like, do you have Twitter or not?
Yeah.
Like, I saw Logan Paul post yesterday. Like, you see this every now and then with a YouTuber, especially a bigger one who's got
Yeah.
no time to be able to make their own content. They're
Yeah.
too busy
Just,
making content as a whole with a
Yeah.
team and whatnot. Like, he put saying, "Hey, I need an editor that needs like," and he put like different like attributes that were needed, like such as I'm not looking for a clip and trim paste kind of editor. I'm looking for someone who has a little bit of flair, a little bit of style, someone who can kind of tell a story almost with each
Yeah.
and every clip, and then is able to also have a bit of comedic, presence as well, because that's
Yeah.
entertaining at the shortest point, and especially at a video to catch people's eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, like I said, there's so many right ways to do it. But
Yeah.
that's true. Like you want somebody who can tell a story. Like sometimes even if I get a good shot, or if I get a good shot, but it doesn't contribute to the story. Like it doesn't make sense being in the video.
Yeah.
Even if it's a really cool shot, like real crisp and clean, like I take it out. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's no
oh, yeah.
point. Like why is it there? And it also goes the other way around. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I don't get a good shot, but it contributes to the story. Like I can
It can go there.
it can go there, but I have to add stuff to it. Sometimes that's when I
Exactly.
add like flare effects or something to make up for the lack of quality. You know?
Yeah, I'm
But-
still on the same editor. I'm a little not embarrassed to say I still use my PS4, but like
Yeah.
I still
To edit.
yeah. Like today I made like some intros. Like I'll show you.
How-
Like
how
right
do you
now,
edit?
this is
How do you edit on there?
it's an app called Share Factory, which pretty much
Oh.
it's mostly it was used for people to be able to make small edits on clips. This is when like PS4 released, hey, you're able to record just by pressing a button and whatnot.
Yeah.
But over the years, I've been using it for other things because they would also add things to it, such as being able to do this now, or you can use green screens now,
Yeah.
or you can do different things. So like that's why I was also gonna say, hey man, don't be sorry that you said you had to come a little late, because I made like some intros using
Yeah.
just my logo. These are for like the clips,
Yeah.
just easy because I just had
Hell
like,
yeah.
because I'm restarting putting clips back on Instagram and shit.
Yeah.
So like just simple picture, simple clips,
Yeah.
and some tracks too. I actually had a friend who like I got together with a couple years ago in acting.
Uh-huh.
And they decided, I'm going to make beats because it's COVID and whatnot. And they're like, I'm just doing it for fun. And then I asked them, hey, could I use these for like videos or whatever, or like
Yeah.
Call of Duty gameplays? And they were like, yeah, fuck yeah. And so since then, since they don't make beats no more, I still use their tracks, which is,
Yeah,
very
that's
helpful
cool.
towards me.
Yeah, my brother actually makes beats, like stuff like
That's
that.
awesome.
He makes like he likes Tyler the Creator.
Hell yeah.
Pharrell, like
Pharrell.
a lot of stuff like that. Like not your traditional.
Yeah,
type of
they're
music.
different type of
Beats,
sounding.
yeah.
Yeah, but like that's crazy when you think about it. Like if it's Tyler the Creator or Pharrell or these different artists,
Yeah.
you somehow know about them because they popped up at one point in time, only because their sound was so different. It was the best at one point in time.
Yeah.
Like Happy. You remember when Happy came
Yeah,
out? Like,
hell yeah.
'Cause I'm happy. Like
Yeah.
everybody fucking knew that song and nobody would stop playing it.
Yeah.
But man, Pharrell made that big bank check
Yeah,
for that
yeah,
song. And
he
to this
did.
day.
Bro, it's crazy like how when you do something new,
Mm-hmm.
like in the beginning, like you're not, well, you kind of are scared that like, oh shit, nobody else is doing it. Like is it gonna be good or bad? But at the
Yeah.
same time, like when you look at people who are at the top, like or at the top, right? Like
Yeah.
whether that be celebrities, musicians,
Who are successful,
or entrepreneur or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
A lot of times when their following base follow them because they're different,
Yeah.
They started a new wave, and I feel like that's
Yeah.
kind of what you want to do. Not necessarily start a new wave just to start a new wave, but just stay true to yourself.
And
you know?
that itself is a
and
wave.
that'll be authentic. in
Yeah,
itself,
like I like to take Snoop Dogg's point of view, like, because it was him and 50 Cent. They're all talking about, all these goddamn rappers sound the same. Like, I don't fucking rap like that, because once you start
Yeah.
rapping like you or doing whatever you
Yeah.
do as you, nobody else can do it.
Nobody can do it.
That's crazy to think
that's-
about.
And in the beginning, it's kind of like iffy. You're iffy about it.
Yeah.
And people are iffy about it. But once you blow up, everybody's with you.
Yeah, and then there's like when you blow up, there's like some people that say, like I followed you since whatever, or I'll follow this, I'll follow that, or they're new, and then
Yeah.
you're like, Like I don't know. Like to me, like the people get kind of weird about it.
Yeah.
People get weird, but like me, I like to think I'm the weird one, and everybody else is looking at me like, "What's he doing?"
Yeah.
type thing. But at the same time,
It's,
I like to be in that position and be able to make content.
yeah, as long as you own your shit, bro, you could do anything.
Of course.
Like, just be proud of what you do.
Of course. And another thing I wanted to ask that kind of caught my eye is you're a wrecker. You have wrecker services?
It's not wrecker. It's a trucking.
Trucking.
So like we do like hot shots. Like we haul loads. Anything that fits on the trailer, we haul it. Like,
damn. So it could be a car, it could be different things.
It could be a car, it could be machinery, insulation, machinery, lumber, concrete, anything that fits, bro.
Damn.
Just strap it up or chain it up, and
that's awesome. And that's a pretty lucrative business, right?
Yeah, bro. It's right now it's kind of crazy because diesel's.
Oh
crazy,
no,
bro,
no! I forgot. Shit. So that's like one of the expenses out of that. But if it's going well,
I mean, it's right now. It's up and down. You know, it's a little tough for everybody right now. But
of course.
And then, but yeah, it's pretty cool, bro. We travel all over.
Damn, man. Because I saw you go from one other place. I'm like, damn, what the hell is doing over? And then I see the truck, and I'm like, oh, y'all are going everywhere. And at the same time, if you go different places, you get yourself acquainted, but you also could find other opportunities elsewhere.
Yeah, and then like I told you earlier, I'm working to get a real camera,
right?
You know, within the next few weeks. And now when I go on the trips, if I get a long lens, like ones I can zoom in, it's gonna be cool to take it, and I can do like photography.
Hell yeah!
Different states, you know, like at truck stops. Or
different states,
bro. Like in Utah or like Arizona, you be parked in at a truck stop or anywhere, and like you already got a badass view because there's mountains everywhere, you know.
Exactly right.
Crazy.
And the amount of trucks you see, like there are magazines everywhere of like different things, pictures, like Getty images of just anything in general, from trucks, cars. You know, like when you say Utah and I think country and I think all these views and landscapes, I'm like, damn. Like whoever has that job to be able to take all these pictures and landscapes, their fucking job is lucky.
Yeah.
Like
nature,
wow.
Bro.
Like it's another thing. Like it's one thing being in the city or like being in a very crowded area and being able to take a beautiful shot, but it's another thing where there's literally nothing there and yet it's still beautiful.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
It's like a balance.
I
like the city, but I like the country too.
I mean, I like the country, but like I think I prefer the city more.
Yeah, I prefer I feel like in my youth, like as I'm young, like I'd rather be in the city because there's more opportunities, you know. And then,
more or less,
in the country, it's like when I'm settled down, you know.
When I'm settled down, like have it in the middle of nowhere so nobody bothers me.
Yeah, just more. I feel like when you have a family and you're settling down, but that's
hopefully a long time. That's hopefully a long time for both of us as well. Besides the Batman, I wanted to ask you on a couple things. Did you watch Doctor Strange?
I didn't.
You did not? Wow.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. After Spider-Man, after Endgame, it's not the same, man.
It's not the same.
You gotta have the original guys in there. Captain America, Thor. I'm looking forward to Thor.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Spider-Man, but I feel like once Thor's gone and Spider-Man's gone, like I'm just not as interested as I was. They're still good movies.
I feel you. It's because I wasn't into it when I got into the MCU was when Spider-Man came back, because that was the only reason I wanted to watch Spider-Man, really? And that was when Civil War happened. You know, that was in the middle of the
pretty deep into it.
Yeah, where there was already all these heroes and different people. I'm like, and I'm over here playing catch up. I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know, but then now that you say, you know, Robert Downey Jr. is no longer there, Iron Man, because that was another reason I wanted to watch it, is Iron Man. Black Widow, she's gone too, Scarlett Johansson, and people fell in love with all these characters, like being deep into it, and then all of a sudden they're gone, and the universe keeps going without them. You know, it's one thing I hate, but it's also another thing I love about it. I hate it because I can't see my favorite character, but at the same time, it also is like, that's life. Yeah. You know, it's the universe. It's the story.
Keeps on going.
We're gonna keep telling the story, and it's gonna keep going.
It's a smart like business move too for them. You know, like I don't think what other universe can you think of that's been doing that? DC has.
DC universe is.
That's like they're trying to do. That Batman's different.
The Batman is different. This new Batman, it was
like Batman and Joker are different, but like as far as like the Superman one, I like Superman too, but I feel like the other ones with Aquaman, they're cool characters, but they don't have as much backstory like the Marvel ones.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like you have to go off of, hey, what do I know from this hero? What have I heard about him, and will I see it? Yeah. It's not like the MCU where, hey, they started, hey, who is this person? And then they
Ground
went from
zero,
there.
yeah.
And then they kept going and going and going. Like Tom Holland, we were like, oh, who is this kid? But then you see him as Spider-Man, and then 3 movies later, oh shit, Spider-Man!
Yeah, you build him up.
You build him up. And speaking of other characters being built up, did you watch the Obi-Wan? Well, first off, do you have Disney Plus?
I don't really watch it, bro.
Oh,
I'm
I
not gonna lie to
see.
you.
I see. I wanted to ask your thoughts on Obi-Wan Kenobi because the thing about that one is I like how, another universe, continuing its story, but sometimes they got either there's so much freedom, when telling a story in that big a scale that you can go backwards or you can go forwards. And with this new show, Obi-Wan Kenobi, like they had the actors who were in the prequels in like the early 2000s having reprised the roles and come back into the show again. And I think that's fucking great because one, an actor gets to reprise a role so many years later and maybe add a new flair onto it. But at the same time, it's for the fans. The fans love it. The fans love a reprisal if they like the role the first time. So they love it. So what do you think about that concept? Actors being able to go back and forth almost with one role.
I think it's cool, man. I'm like you said. I think the main thing. It's really for the fans,
Yeah.
It's a business move. I mean, more fans, more money, for the studios and stuff. But I think if they do it the right way, I think it's badass. But if they kind of force it, like, it's still badass regardless.
Yeah.
You're still, like, especially if you grew up watching that show, like, you're like, oh, shit, it's him. But then after you get over that emotion, like, you analyze the movie, you're like, I don't know if that was really...
I mean, would you like Captain America to return? Or, like...
I don't know. No, I feel like they did a good job with those characters. Like, I
feel the same.
They can stay gone. Like, I mean, it sucks. You don't get to see them, but the story's good,
Because they keep bothering Chris Hemsworth. Like, are you going to return his cap? Are you going to return his cap? And he's over here on the goddamn Buzz Lightyear movie. Yeah. Like, you're asking him about Captain America.
Yeah.
And he's like...
I felt like Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man No Way Home. I liked it a lot.
Oh,
I felt like they could have made it longer, though. Even though it was already long, I still felt like there were parts that were kind of rushed. But I understand, like, you can only make a movie so long.
Yeah.
But, like, they didn't even give, like, I was going to say Peter Parker, but those 3 of them.
But they're all, which one? Tobey Maguire?
Tobey Maguire. They didn't even have him, like, talk to the Goblin, like.
Oh, they really didn't,
like that,
right.
That's 101. You should.
That is 101. It's because, death. Because he died last time we saw him, and then I guess it's because he spent so much time having that conversation with Tom Holland Spider-Man. He was talking to the wrong goddamn Spider-Man when really we wanted to be like, hey, talk to your killer right quick.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If they made it, I think they released a DVD that's longer, but I don't know if they'll have that.
I heard about that. Maybe they will.
Maybe they will.
I think Willem Dafoe killed it, bro.
Yes. Yeah, like back then.
He stole the show.
Back then it seemed like all the movies, all the like hero movies back then, they seemed really campy and very, cringe. Like looking back at them, but still, the fact that Willem Dafoe is able to play the character, like
he made it dark. Dude.
Made it real dark. Like the character was already dark, and he went as dark as he could have gone. But then all these years later, when the storytelling is different, whoa, that was a different Willem Dafoe, man. And speaking of actors that I like and whatnot. One scene I wanted to show you was either it's this one, like Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci. You obviously know that duo, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I wanted to, like, get your feels on this one a little bit.
Yeah.
Was, we've seen multiple scenes with them. Like, this is just one out of the many scenes they've done together. Yeah. Like, examples, Raging Bull or, Goodfellas.
Yeah,
but
classic.
Like, this is one of my favorites. This is my favorite. Like, when they're just fucking screaming at each other in the middle of a fucking desert. And let's just soak this one in. Like, if y'all haven't seen it, it's Casino. Badass movie. Based, like, some things are taken from true events. Little by little. Characters have been renamed and whatnot. But Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, and who else? There is... I'm forgetting the actress name.
I really like Robert De Niro in The Godfather too.
When he played a young Vito Corleone.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. Man, some people... Man, that's got to be the youngest I've seen Robert De Niro look, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone, that's who it was.
You said I'm bringing heat on you?
Yeah.
I gotta listen to people because of your fucking shit? You're ordering me out? You better get your own fucking army, pal.
Do anything. I mean, I didn't order you or anybody. I only told Andy Stone that you had a lot of heat on you, and I was.
God damn.
You want me to get out of my own fucking
And
town?
apparently, I don't know how true, but a lot of these scenes were just, hey, Joe, Robert, go for it. Go for it. Just go for it. like improvised talking shit to each
Yeah.
other.
I make that possible.
Joe Pesci's a hothead, bro.
He is, man.
Or as a character. The
As a
characters-
character.
The characters he plays, anyway.
Like Tommy DeSimone, Nicky Santoro here. Very, very, very hot-headed. Raging Bull was a flip almost because Robert De Niro was the aggressor. He was in that one as well. And let's see, what's another scene?
I did want to go on TV.
Let's see.
That way I have a form. I can fight back. I'm known. People see me. They know they can't fuck around with me like they could if I was an unknown. That's right.
You're making
Yeah.
a big fucking spectacle of yourself.
Me. I wouldn't even be in this situation if it wasn't for you. You brought down so much fucking heat on me, and every time I meet somebody here, the big question is, do I know you?
Oh, sure. Now you want to frame your fucking license on me.
No,
That is-
Nicky, when you asked me if you could come out here, what did I tell you? I mean, you asked me, and I knew you were going to come out no matter what. I said, well, what did I tell you? Do you remember what I told you?
Back
Do you
up
remember what I
a
told
fucking
you?
minute here. 1 minute. I asked you, when the fuck did I ever ask you if I can come out here? Get this through your head, you. Get this through your head, you Jew motherfucker. You
Oh, God.
exist out here because of me. That's the only reason. Without me, you personally, every fucking wise guy still around, will take a piece of your fucking Jew ass. That's where you're gonna go. Your fucking word don't ever go over my fucking head again. You motherfucker, you.
God damn. The energy is just different.
Yeah.
It's so different. And then, did you watch The Irishman?
I still haven't seen it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm not that educated in a lot of the classics, bro. I haven't watched a lot of classics.
Well, this scene was like, would you like the movie spoiled partially or no? Like, I could try to tell it in an uncensored way or a
I'd
censored
rather
way.
wait to watch it, bro.
Ooh, I got you. Well, it won't really say much in this scene, but just watch the scene with the same actors all these years later. Irishman came out
Yeah.
in 2020. All these goddamn years later, man. This is the prison scene. Yeah.
I think they made him look even older, right?
Because in The Irishman, they used a lot of
CGI.
CGI that was very great. But I don't know where the editing or the realness starts or ends with how they look.
Yeah. It's crazy how like all those guys are getting old, man.
It is,
Al
man.
Pacino, De Niro.
They're up there now.
A nice family, too, huh? I never wanted it to go that far. I picked us over him.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck.
And what he says in Italian right here, he's like, you should eat so you can grow. Dang. So there's a different, like when you watch the movie, there's a certain sadness in the scene that you're going to feel because of what you watched. But there was another sadness I watched, like while at the same time watching this movie. And the other sadness I felt like was able to get from this scene was, wow, after all these scenes these two actors have had, this may be the last big time we see them do it ever again.
Yeah.
And I felt that right there. And I was like, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
they've come a long way.
They have. And speaking of people who are getting up there, well, he wasn't really up there, but Ray Liotta also passed away. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was sad.
That was sad.
It was
That's
crazy because like a day before, I was watching Goodfellas.
Oh my
Like,
God.
2 days before, yeah.
That's so crazy. That's so wild because I was dealing with some stuff, but a day later, I was at my grandfather's and the news just broke out. like dead at 66 in his sleep.
Yeah.
Like he was filming another movie, and I forget where he is. He's like, out of country somewhere, and just filming a movie, and then his fiance, he doesn't wake up, and I'm like, whoa, that's crazy.
It's tragic.
It is tragic, man. I loved Ray Liotta, like in Goodfellas. Did you like him in any other movie specifically besides Goodfellas? Because we all love Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Anybody
I
is
haven't
privy
watched
to.
him in a lot of other movies.
Man, see, that's the thing. Me neither.
I saw him in this movie with Zac Efron.
What?
It was called like Charlie St. Cloud.
Oh, Charlie's. Yeah, I remember that movie.
He was in that one.
I remember that. Well,
I can't remember, bro.
It's very hard because he's been in like big movies, but then he's done like other smaller ones that you don't really remember. Like Blow, he was Johnny Depp's dad in Blow.
Blow, yeah, Blow. I just saw that like last week too. That was a good
And then he wasn't really gangster in that one. He was just very calm, but also very sad by the end.
Yeah.
Also, one of his last roles, like one of the roles that really got me was his role in GTA Vice City. He played the protagonist for real. Like he was the first voiced protagonist, because in 2001 they made GTA 3, which was the first, like 3D. You can control this guy, run around the city, do whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
The next one, they wanted to, up the ante. They want to be like, okay, our character didn't say one word the entire game.
Yeah.
Let's have a voice actor, and they went big. They not only got Ray Liotta, they got I forget his name. He was an actor from Miami Vice all these years ago, playing in a Miami type game. They got Danny Trejo and many other actors. Burt Reynolds.
Danny Trejo was he was in Call of Duty.
Yes.
He was a zombie.
In Call of the Dead.
Yeah.
Black Ops 1. That was the one you're talking about. And I love it when.
Bro.
I love when certain games have like these star-studded cast.
Yeah.
Like GTA Vice City is one of them. Call of Duty Black Ops, like along with Robert Englund and all these guest characters from Ice Cube and all these other, like, it's cool to see a star-studded cast, almost like a movie that you get to play though.
Yeah.
And like, it's hard. Like, do you play any video games now or not?
No, I used to. I used to play a lot in like in high school. Towards the end of high school, I kind of stopped. I started focusing on like college and stuff.
And what you wanted to do and needed to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's understandable.
And now I kind of spend all my free time editing, man.
Fair.
I love movies, and I don't even watch movies that much.
Damn. Well, yeah, because you're, doing what you like to do.
Filming, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it, yeah.
Well, the one game in the leisure time I've had, I decided to be like, well, I should get into, because recently I've had trouble just trying to find a game, and with not having like the newest console and spending an arm and a leg on, a console and a game, whatever the hell, it's not like there's a lot of games that really catch you for a while, that last and that makes you want to play it again and keep playing it.
Yeah.
But the game I've gotten in my leisure time was Red Dead Redemption 2.
My brother played that, and he said it was badass.
Did you see any of it or nah?
I did. The graphics are really good.
The graphics are fucking beautiful. They are beautiful.
Yeah.
And the reason I got into it is because, I was dealing with some things, and I was like, I need a good distraction. And a distraction that I decided was, okay, Red Dead has good graphics. I have a newer TV, so it's going to look different from what I played before.
Yeah.
And the story is so long. It is. It's very long. And then trying to do 100% when doing all these other side things, like, it's pretty long.
Yeah.
It's pretty long. So that's what I decided to do. But at the same time, when I'm, like, messing around or whatever, they didn't have this when I first played it, but they incorporated a photo mode. So, like, when you're in a cutscene or in a shootout or whatever the hell, or in first person, you can snapshot, and it's almost like an editor. You can freely move the camera around to whatever angle. You can go like probably 100 yards that way, 100 yards that way, and maybe get like a landscape or, I just been messing.
It'll still play the scene?
Almost for like a second, but then it's a matter of pausing it at the same time. So
okay.
It's a matter of saying, oh, let me try this or try this. And that's what I've been doing. Like, if I'm not playing the story and I decide to mess around.
Oh, you still haven't finished?
No.
When did you start?
I started about May, like the ending of May, almost beginning of June.
Oh, okay.
So it's only been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But like anytime I get sidetracked, I just decide to start messing around and be like, okay, what's a good picture here? Or what's a landscape? Or if I'm in a shootout, does this look like, oh my God, almost, or like a scene that's about to happen. And it's like one of those, Like it could be like a snapshot or a trailer shot that they use. Almost, you can make. If people decided to, they can make fan-made trailers if they really wanted to.
Yeah,
And
it's I remember I used to do stuff like that with Arkham City. I used to play that.
Ooh, Arkham City is a good
That's
one.
kind of like when that game came out. That's when I was in like my video game phase. Like
Hell-
Arkham City, 2K, Arkham Asylum.
Mhm.
Like I'd say whenever around the year that Arkham City came out, that's like when I was in my prime. Like I would play
Yeah.
like every day.
There were good games at that time too.
Yeah.
And then speaking of Batman, the movie. What were your initial thoughts on the movie?
It was good. It was badass. It was like I feel like even if it wasn't a superhero movie, like it would have been good because it was it had a good story. You know, it's a good crime movie.
So you enjoyed the story. You didn't feel it was too long or
No, I felt it was good. I felt it's kind of like, have you seen Seven?
the Seven? No.
Seven, the movie Seven.
Oh, did it have this like little puppet or something like that or no?
No, it's well that I know what you're talking about, but no, Seven, the one with David. I believe it was David Fincher.
Let me see. Seven. Let's see. Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a crime mystery. Well,
Who's the director?
let's see. Director David Fincher.
Yeah, David Fincher. Yeah,
Oh, I
should've
see
known
what
that.
you mean. It's because a crime mystery. See, the reason why I know this is because my senior year of high school, I did like one of the like that. We'll get into it later with line learning because that's what I want to ask you about. But it's a crime. You know, a mystery has to be played out. It has to be long.
Yeah.
So what you felt you had a more like a modern crime feel with this movie?
Yeah, it was a modern. I mean, it was a superhero movie, but I'm saying like a lot of superhero movies. If you take away like the superpower aspect of it, like it's not a good movie. They're just powers. But this one, like, well, first of all, Batman doesn't even have powers.
No, he does not.
But take away the cape and take away it's like a detective just working, you know.
For real.
That's why it was cool. I feel like people who aren't into superhero movies would like it because it's not your typical.
It's not your typical.
It's like like Joker. Joker was like a psychological.
And what did you think on Joker? Did we speak on Joker last time? I don't remember either. But did you like Joker, right?
Yeah.
I loved Joaquin Phoenix in this one.
Yeah.
And it felt like it didn't feel like a crime, but it was one of those movies where if it went too long, I wouldn't care either. Because there was so much to flesh out.
Yeah.
And there was so much going on. And like, if they ran the Batman a little longer, people would have probably shit on it. Now that I'm thinking that, because if you really think about it, we want Joker to be fleshed out, but over here on Batman's side, Batman has been refleshed how many times in the last 10 years?
Yeah, like
so,
2, 3.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson had like a bit of a challenge, and this movie probably had a bit of a challenge trying to differentiate from the previous Batman, you know?
Yeah.
And it's in this time, you know, where it was in the DCU and all this other stuff. So I think they overcame this challenge.
Yeah.
And then what did you think about Robert Pattinson?
He's a great actor, bro. I mean, he's really good at what he does. He's like, he just kind of, he has a certain, like, he just plays the characters really well.
He gets
into the role really good.
He gets really zoned in. I noticed. It was like there are times in the movie where I really felt like, man, he really does feel entitled. He really does feel, hey, I'm going to go and do this, or hey, I'm going to, like, if I'm going to stop him, I need to do this in order to do that.
Yeah.
You know, there were times where I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then Zoe Kravitz also was just, she's just fine as hell.
Yeah,
but at the same time, she really sold it. You know, last time we had
she wasn't like cringy, like
exactly.
And she did really good.
Do you know the last like movie of Catwoman?
I think I was probably like 7 years old.
We were young. We were young. The last Catwoman movie was played by Halle Berry. And that had to be like if we watched it right now, we'd probably cringe like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because wow, that was one thing I was like, is Zoe Kravitz gonna really play off the Catwoman vibe? Because
that's like around the time like the Daredevil movies came out, right? Like Daredevil with Ben Affleck.
Yes. Yeah.
I like that one. Growing up.
That's crazy. And then, how did you feel about Daredevil appearing in No Way Home?
That was cool, but I don't watch the show, so I don't.
It missed with you.
It wasn't that big a deal with me. I was just like, oh, that's cool.
That was because that was a miss with me as well. I'm just sitting there in the theater and they see this guy with red glasses and everybody's like, And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going
Yeah.
on? Nothing happened. Where's Toby?
That's how exactly. That was me when Toby came out.
I was
bro.
like, where's Toby? Did he
Yeah.
come out yet? And I was like, oh.
It was me and I went with a friend and then my brother and my cousin and their girlfriends and then
Yeah.
like when Toby came out, I was just acting like a little kid, bro. Like I couldn't help it, bro.
I had this joy over me when I saw when I saw Andrew Garfield, because I liked Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, so there was a joy. I was like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then like it just blossomed even more when everybody's like reaction to, oh hi,
Yeah,
Tobey
I know.
Maguire.
Bro, they should have at least put like his theme song on, like, or like they should have. I feel like it would have been badass if
They used the instrumental from Sam Raimi's.
Yeah, but like at the perfect time though, like Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland, like their characters are like getting their ass whooped, and all of a sudden you just hear the song come on, and then the Toby comes to the rescue. Like that would have been badass, you know.
Or oh man, I wish you didn't tell me about Green Goblin or not him having seen. See, you don't even have to have them say words. Just have them do a look at each other and then go like that suspenseful sound. That's all you needed, and they didn't.
Yeah, people would go crazy, bro.
People would go because you and me, we remember that. We remember what we heard. We remember what we felt, and then the fact they were able to deliver all these years later is crazy. And then speaking of villains and whatnot, what did you think about the Riddler in this one? How did you feel about him?
I think he did a really good job.
He
played it like a freaking weirdo. Like
exactly.
That's how you should. I feel like if anybody who's not anybody, but if you're a psychopath and you're really smart, you're also gonna be really weird, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's why that Glass scene where he's like he's kind of talking to himself like a weirdo. Like people were like kind of cringing, but I think it's something a crazy person would do, you know.
Exactly.
You look at him like, what the fuck are you doing?
And then
like,
I also felt when they arrested him at one point in the movie, I was like, whoa, this feels really anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But that's the point. He's a fucking weirdo. He didn't expect to fucking get caught.
Yeah.
But he did. And now.
Well, actually, that part I think he did. That was part of his plan, I think.
And then to speak right, see, that was his plan, but at the same time, it's like,
yeah.
What is he doing next?
Yeah.
But that's the part of the character. You never know what's there. And then, wasn't there like a cameo of Joker in this movie, if I'm mistaken?
Yeah, there was, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they keep him as like a side character, though. Like
in this version and this inclination of Batman?
We've seen a lot of Jokers.
There's like 3 active.
There's like so many other cool villains that they could put in. It's so dark, that universe. They could put in like Mr. Freeze. Or it's cool they put Joker, but make him team up with somebody or something, not just their own standalone.
And then, I don't know, I think they've gone all the way with Harley Quinn. Yeah. How many times do you want to see Margot Robbie? I mean, I loved Margot Robbie. I think she played, Harley Quinn well.
Yeah.
It's that, how many times can you team them up and break them up?
She just doesn't. I feel like that doesn't really go with this universe.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't.
Vibe.
It's a different vibe.
Not comedic. Like,
it's not.
This isn't a comedic movie. It's like.
It's not witty.
It's its own thing.
Yeah, and then, like you were just saying, we have if you really count, we have 3 active Jokers, or not really. I want to say active because there was Jared Leto. He appeared in the Zack Snyder, cut, and I was like, whoa.
That was good. I like how he looked in that.
Yeah, they really added on to his first design, which everybody didn't really like from Suicide Squad. And then on this one, I was like, okay, there's that.
Yeah.
And then we got this Joker from this Batman, and then we got Joaquin Phoenix, and then apparently there's going to be a Joker 2.
Yeah.
And
how do you
feel?
It's going to be a musical.
How do you feel about that?
I don't like musicals.
You don't like musicals?
I don't.
I mean, I can handle a musical if I'm ready for one.
I mean, I don't think they're the worst thing in the world, but 90% of the time, bro, I just can't. I'm like, dude, I want to see
You want to see the realness,
real life, yeah.
Yeah, not a show that's kind of.
When is somebody gonna sing like that? I guess it's its own genre,
Right.
It's just not my style. Let's put it that way,
I feel you.
But I feel
don't.
They could make it right. Like what's Les Mis? That was a good movie. The one with Hugh Jackman and
yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Is it the one where they're running a circus? Or no?
I'm kind of embarrassed to say. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
It's okay because
Les.
Les
That's
Mis
just what I call it. Meser something.
Les Miserables.
Yeah, that one.
Ooh, what is this movie?
It's a musical.
It's actually. It doesn't look like a goddamn.
I know, but it's like dark and like
Mm.
it's like a drama. So it's actually that's one of the few movies that I've seen. Maybe maybe there's more out there because I don't really watch them. But I watched it for school at school one time and it was good.
Well, the last musical I really sat down to really watch and like I enjoyed was Hamilton. Did you ever watch Hamilton?
No, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good, and they're able to tell a full story on stage. But like you said, this is a movie. You know, like it's a different feel, different vibe. I don't know. Like the first Joker was very, very dark, and it's like up the alley you like. And I don't know. Do you feel that there's any way that if they could make it work, you would like it, or no? Would it be like a no-go?
They can. I mean, I'm not gonna say it. I don't think all musicals are bad, but
Right.
I don't like. I just don't like musicals.
You know,
in
it's
general.
just
like
it's not the first thing you'd pick.
As a director, like I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me make a musical. Like,
Right.
It is telling a story, but it's not my way of.
I mean, if
I'm not a
Joaquin
fan of it, I guess.
if Joaquin Phoenix can sing, I mean,
Yeah.
go ahead, bro.
Yeah. And I think it'd be cool, like a fun movie, but I don't think it's anything like I would take serious.
Yeah.
Just because it's. And who knows, right? Maybe I'll get a part as in a musical one day, but
God.
as of right now, like as an audience, as an actor, it's different. Like I would consider I would take everything serious, but it doesn't matter the role. But as a fan,
that's not your cup of tea.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea.
And that's what's up. That's what's up. And then switching gears a little bit, the event I asked you about, it had a little bit of pro wrestling in it. Did you like watch it in any way or no?
The event, which event? The one I went.
Yeah, and I think it was Stockyards.
It was in the Stockyards. Yeah, I filmed actually. I don't have the footage on me, but it was cool.
It was cool.
It was pretty cool.
What do you think about pro wrestling? Because I cover it a lot in like deep detail.
Yeah.
But like I like to ask people who don't necessarily watch it their opinion, and then I try to like put them onto like certain things that makes it what it is, because the first thing everybody says, it's fake.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like as a kid, you probably thought, "Damn, that shit's so real. It must hurt."
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, like it's this, the suspension of the audience.
Yeah.
That's their bread and butter. And the suspension of the audience most of the time, children.
Yeah. I don't watch it anymore. I used to watch it a lot. Like I was a huge WWE guy as a kid, and then I don't know, it just kind of slowly died down. I never got back into it.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know.
Well,
it's not so much the fake that it's fake.
Yeah.
Because, you could argue the same for acting. Acting's
yeah,
fake, too.
Exactly. It's the same argument. Like, you're watching a movie or...
It's nothing real,
Yeah.
It's just not my cup of tea. It's not so much like, I don't think it's ridiculous or anything. It's not my style,
Would you, if you had the opportunity to, would you shoot an entire event, like a wrestling show?
Oh yeah, of course. I'll shoot anything.
Yeah, man. It's because like I have barely any due to something that happened. I lost a shit ton of footage. It was all stolen from me.
Really?
Yeah, it was in my phone, and what do you call it? I had like a bunch of, from pictures to like things I was working on, or just when I went to this event for my birthday, I went to
I saw that, yeah.
It's another company called AEW, and it's like to like put it short, it's like a lot of WWE guys are there. It's pretty much where the only other place, like WWE was the only place on TV that you were like, oh, that's wrestling. That's what that is. This company is pretty much everywhere else. Like people from Japan, people from the indies and the indie circuit. They have not more of a chance, but like WWE is like the highest of the high.
Like the G League.
This is almost like
the G League.
B League.
B League?
B League, yeah. Like, or I don't know, it's A League to me because...
No, but like the G League and the NBA.
Oh, yeah. Everybody gets to, move up and being able to get to where you need to be.
Yeah.
So, man, like the shots I got with this one, like this was just a panorama shot of just all around. And this was at the Curtis Colwell Center in Irving.
Yeah, it looked big.
And like, man, it's just...
It was a cool environment.
Yeah, and a lot of the things... AEW is very interesting. Like, if you see on the end of the ring post, you see the things on top of each corner?
Yeah.
Those are actually cameras. And they record certain things in the ring. Like, there'll be a spot, like, on TV. Like, they'll cut to that camera, and you can see the impact of, oh, they're about to come, and boom, right there.
That's super important.
Yeah.
Like camera placement. Like the one I filmed, I couldn't. They already had a camera crew there,
Mm-hmm.
and they were really close to the ring, so I felt like it was their event. I didn't want to get too close. So I was
Oh,
filming from far.
oh,
So I
I
got good
feel you.
shots, but not that good. And that's why I want to get a really good lens that can film from far
From
away.
far away and
Like,
still be able not to
yeah,
intrude or anything.
Like in weddings, like when they're saying their vows,
Mm.
you're filming way back from behind, but the shot is up close.
Good shot.
Yeah. 'Cause you got
Hell
that
yeah.
Zoom lens. Yeah.
Like I tried to get good shots. Like I was near, like I had nearly had a front row seat, and I was able to see certain people.
Yeah.
And I got in trouble by security because I think what had happened was me and my brother, he sort of doesn't care because when you're near a front row, there are people who are standing, so you can't see over them sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's just one part right here. During this match I watched, we were standing on our chairs, but there's also, like, we're near the entrance ramp, so people are coming out. And there's a little arm crank for a big panning camera.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, they're telling us to sit the fuck down because
Yeah.
we can get hit.
Yeah.
That was crazy. But, like, man, we had a camera flying over our heads for like 2.5 hours, and then at the same time, along with all these goddamn cameras everywhere, they got people running around taking this shot, this shot, this shot,
Yeah.
boom, boom, like 10 guys running around the ring who are not even, doing anything, who are not helping set up what's next or
Just straight
the
camera.
show, just straight camera work. And that's why I asked, like, if you were able to get into that'd be bad ass.
Yeah.
And then say if it was like a smaller event like this, if there was no camera or it was just a show putting on, man, you have so much freedom.
Oh yeah.
And then what you were saying about the long shots, man, you'll be able to capture a whole audience or whatever, whether it's a wedding, a show, a theater, or an event,
Yeah.
anything like that is badass.
Yeah, bro. And if it's a small event, I mean and there's no camera crew there, and you're the only guy. You have so much, like you said.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even need a long lens. I'd just be up close.
Yeah, and then the iPhone. But I finally upgraded. Like, remember last year, I only had an iPhone 6s, and you're talking about how good the 4K camera on the new iPhone was.
Yeah, I still have the same phone.
Yeah, I upgraded in Christmas, and then I went straight to that camera, and I put
Yeah.
video, and I looked 4K 60 FPS, and I was like,
Yeah. So you know about like 60 FPS.
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that?
yeah.
That's how you slow it down. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Anytime you want to film slow mo, it's either 60 or 120.
And see, they're more advanced than these cameras, like from 4K and then upwards to that. People try to push the boundary to make it look
8K.
good. 8K.
But there's no point in like 8K, bro.
Yeah.
'Cause most TVs and computers, they can only run 4K.
Yeah.
So why are you gonna? It's just gonna take up way more space.
Exactly. And then
even-
that's
gonna
a difficulty
downscale.
too.
Yeah.
When you have something like good and it just takes up your
It
space.
does.
God,
It's
how much
better-
do you have to deal with that? Because I bet you're editing out the ass, right?
Yeah. So like right now with my phone, a typical project like a commercial, like a promo video,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I'd probably have like 10 gigs
God.
for that. And then that's with the phone, bro. Like if I get a real camera, which I will soon, it's probably gonna be like
You're going to be switching
like
card after card.
double the gigs, at least like 20, 30 gigs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not so much when you plan your shots. When I improvise, when I just show up and improvise and I don't know what to expect, I don't know which shots I want, I record too much, and that slows down my workflow because then I have to cut too much.
Oh, I feel
But when
you.
I plan the shots and I know what I want, it's more planning. But the after filming, it's so much easier. And I don't film shit I don't need to film.
Yeah.
So it takes up less time.
I feel you on that. That's what I try to do with this because some people aren't, as comfortable saying, oh, I'm going to go on camera live and, talk and yada yada.
Yeah.
Because what I try to do is I don't really edit much when it comes to this because it's a live show.
Yeah.
But there's editing that comes after it, whether it's, oh, I said this, or if people want to really take it that far, they want to cut that out, or, me, like the hardest part about editing on the podcast is I get annoyed at my voice sometimes, and
Yeah.
I have to watch it fully to be like, oh, I want to cut this out, or hey, maybe the conversation was good, I can have this in, or have this, or have this. And at the same time, I don't want to say either too much or do too much
Yeah.
that doesn't, do with what I want or what I want to clip up or, trim up, Like, if we're just watching a scene and it's just, you and me looking at the TV, I'm not going to repost that or show it in a different light.
Yeah.
I'd want,
You have to know what's
Yeah.
appropriate for the audience. Yeah.
Like, if someone wanted to do, like, a recorded one or a smaller one, then I'd be open to that as well. one thing I did, which was purely live, and I didn't expect to edit it, was for the 50th episode for my last podcast.
Yeah.
Me and a couple other friends were watching the UFC fight, and I knew there's no way I'm gonna watch that goddamn thing fully. Like, it would take me maybe a day to watch it fully if I really wanted to, because 4 or 5 hours, and most of it is just us watching the TV and, commentating roughly on what's happening.
That's why all my videos are like a minute.
Yeah.
I learned that real quick. Like, people aren't going to watch your whole thing.
Yeah, they don't watch all of it.
They're not going to. You just got to keep it like at 45 to say. Like, Reels.
Yeah.
Instagram Reels. That's what's popping right now.
They took it off and then they put it back on for a minute. That was weird.
They're taking it off?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Or that was weird. Like, for a minute, I couldn't do Reels, and I was like, what the hell? Like, I thought this was the thing. Oh, no, I'm lying. What had happened was when we did Reels, or like when you're able to post Reels and then post certain things, when I was posting my clips back then, I was able to put a title on them and like everything like that. But then when they sort of differentiated and moved Reels towards more smaller things, they took that out, so I couldn't put a title on each little clip I was putting out that was like a 2-minute or 3-minute or 4 or 5, 10. And I was like, dang, y'all really left me in the dust here. But
there's a lot that goes to it, like IGTV, Reels.
Oh, that's what that was, IGTV.
You just gotta find what
works.
What works for you.
Or like Laura. Oh, no, you're good. Like Reels as well. Like, I try to do Reels of like, mini shots of what it looks like before a guest comes, or or the decoration I have. I try to be decorative at any time. So that within itself is probably a shot or a reel that can be made. So I try to play around with that as well. And switching gears one more time. Line learning. Have you ever had to learn lines before, and do you have your own process?
I have. One way that I learned, that my acting professor taught me at TCC, he was Professor Davidson. He said Anthony Hopkins does this. He reads a script like over and over and over, and I would draw a circle. I would draw a line. It's like the Wheel of Fortune is what we call it. So you draw like a cross, and then like basically a star. And each time you read the whole script, that's one line. Each time you read it again, another line. So basically, you read the script like 100 times.
Dang.
Because you want to memorize it to the point where like you want to memorize it without emotions. Because if you try to memorize the emotions and how you're gonna say it,
then
you're
it
gonna
turns
sound
into
like a robot. You're gonna sound like it's fake. It's gonna sound fake. You're faking it essentially.
Yeah.
And when you just remember the lines, and then you react, it's just second
accordingly
nature to you.
Yeah.
Like, I would be like doing push-ups or something, and then I'm reading the script, or I'm saying the lines over and over.
Yeah.
And then you go act, and then you don't have a pre-established like emotion.
Yeah.
You kind of just react off what the other person tells you, and that's the best way to do it. I mean, you have an idea, right?
Yeah, you have an idea of what's happening.
You're not gonna be like the character's upset, and you're not gonna be having a smile on. Right?
Yeah, like you can read a scene and be like, "Hey, what's going on here? Let me figure it out. Let me pick it apart, but let me see what I can do." And then we really see what happens whenever you and me are in a scene.
You keep it spontaneous, like if you decide to improvise and push me or something. That switches it up. And if you had memorized a script only with this emotion, and you push me, and now that emotion doesn't make sense to react to what you just did, and then I'm gonna be like, oh shit, like second guessing it. But if I just memorized it in a monotone, just like monotone, like without any emotions, then I can do whatever emotion I want. I can be happy with it. I can be sad. I can be angry. I can, however, I just react off what the other person does.
So you read it over and over and over, and you draw like a star or a circle like that.
So one star means I read it. One circle means I read it 6 times.
Wow.
And then you just like I would have a script, and then it would be like I don't know 10 circles or something.
Dang.
Circles,
Dang.
But it was kind of like what's the word? Tedious. Like
very tedious.
Yeah, like shit. Like I have to keep reading and reading, but it pays off. Like after you're just like, damn. So it's second nature to you. You're not worried about forgetting your lines. That's
exactly.
That's the last thing.
Like me, like I'm line learning right now with that book over there, and it's going pretty good. Yeah. I'm doing that with a summer company in July.
Hell yeah.
And really excited for it because I'm pretty sure I can say it's okay. Lord Capulet is what I have. And I know they put me in this kind of role because, one, I've looked older. I've looked like I'm 30 since I was 15 or 16 or whatever. But at the same time, there's a bunch of younger students that like participate as well from that school. And, it just fits, and then my voice, the way I carry, it just fits that character.
Yeah.
So like recently, like my method is I just, almost the same. You keep saying it. I read the scene. Like I look at what scene I have. I try to read it or highlight it. I look at different lines. It's also Shakespearean, so I also want to say it correctly.
Yeah.
And not because usually what happens is it's not that I messed up a line or it's a very, very different line. What happens is I say my normal English. Like my normal English is backwards to the Shakespearean English. So it won't sound right Shakespearean right, but I'm over here saying what sounds right to me.
Yeah.
So I'm over here trying to say it how it's not normal to me. That's weird whenever you're like learning the Shakespearean dialect.
Accent,
yeah. But at the same time, it's just a matter of I read it, I keep going and saying it out loud, just saying it. And then once I feel comfortable with it and I start sitting down and then it goes from there. Like maybe I'll be up and around if I'm comfortable with the lines.
Yeah.
Maybe when I like that, this has happened to me. Like when I want to learn lines and I want to like get it, like there are times where my brain is saying do it, but my body is saying, hey, you've done enough today, don't overwork yourself. But then my brain will be like, do it now, you can do it right now. And I sometimes will do it and I'll just hit a line and I'll be like, oh shit. But that's because I've said it how many ever times, and that's my brain, wanting to keep going. And then, like you said, doing push-ups or anything other else I was doing or driving, sometimes it just hits me. It's just of saying it, doing it, getting comfortable, and then I get into the emotion later.
And then that sometimes after you
you're good.
After you read and read and read, you like an idea just all of a sudden pops in your head just because you kept. It's like editing. Like I'll edit, call it a day or call it a night. I decide to come back maybe a few hours later. I'm like, oh shit, like I never thought of this, and a new idea pops in there.
That would happen. Like, see, that's why I try not to edit because when I did gaming, like I said, I was kind of limited, but at the same time, I was like, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. And then there are times where I want to go back, but at the same time, I'm like, there are some things better left.
Yeah, you can get carried away with it.
Yeah.
Like hours, like. And
then, like, sometimes, like me, like, whenever I can't have a certain thing or it doesn't look right, it just irks me.
Me too.
And then you're like, it's like, you're doing one thing and you're like, man, this is good. And then you feel like, man, this is bad. Let me do this.
Yeah.
And then it's like a tug of war back and forth with your emotion. But at the same time, if it all comes together and you let it go, it works. It works so well.
Like, I guess it's just like the perfectionist.
Yeah, the little perfectionist in all of us.
Yeah.
Is really, really crazy. And before we wrap this with a pretty bow, any future projects coming up, and what are your plans for the rest of the summer, mister?
Bro, I just want to keep filming.
Ooh, of course.
Filming, editing, commercials for small businesses. I got a lot of new equipment on the way,
Ooh.
Getting the professional camera soon. I got a drone on the way.
A drone? Oh, nah, it's over.
So,
it's over. It's over. You're going to have those
like
big shots?
Yeah, like real estate videos. Like,
ooh.
And then acting too, bro.
How do you find all these, like different people?
It's kind of about word of mouth, bro.
Yeah, you just say, I do this, and then people are like,
yeah.
Yes?
I pretty much try to negotiate. Anytime I meet somebody new, it's the first thing I tell them. Like, hey, I do filmmaking, I do this, and I start showing them videos. A lot of times they won't hit me up, but here and there, like I met one person. I met her back in a long time ago, man. It's probably no, not that long. Maybe like January.
Yeah.
And then like give her my card. She sells houses, and then she never hit me up or anything. And all of a sudden, like 5 months later, she calls me early in the morning, like, "Hey, can you do a video tomorrow?" Like, yeah. And you never know when the opportunity is gonna come.
And then that's like the last thing too. It's all about consistency.
Yeah.
Like,
keep going.
Have you seen a difference? Like, can you tell a difference now from the podcast we did last year and then this year? Like, is there any difference you see or no? Like I'll take any honesty, bro.
Your room looks a little different. But I've seen you. You've been consistent.
Yeah, I've tried to be on that, and even if it's not, see, because I want to be the person that doesn't want that says, you know, I want to be like Joe Rogan almost. Like I don't want to look at the comments, I don't want to look at the views. I just want to, you know, put whatever I want out there because that's very freeing. But at the same time, I look at those because has it done well? I want more people to see.
Yeah.
I want, you know, I want all these things as well, along with the freedom. You know.
I think all your videos are short, right?
Yeah. Ooh, some of them are, some of them not. Like there are 10.
I think.
Like if I maybe shorten them, maybe, but at the same time, I'm like, I like this topic, and it was a good conversation that I wanted to put.
I think one thing that could probably help you out with views is each video you upload has an intro, right?
Yeah.
Like how long is your intro?
The one I showed you, which was like a world premiere almost, was like 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
Okay, yeah.
And then,
I feel like, I don't know, if you can kind of get straight to the point.
Yeah.
I like the intro, but
yeah, if it's people have a short attention span. They have the attention span of a sperm, a goldfish, because if they move their thumb, see, here's the thing: we're on these phones 24/7. We see new things all the time, and the hardest job probably for us is catching someone and catching someone's eyes for that.
In the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, on my videos, for example, I open up the scene. The first 5 seconds, a lot's going on, so it catches their attention. So maybe you can do something like, you gotta get an eye catcher.
Yeah.
In the beginning. And then maybe something really quick.
Yeah.
Or maybe not even a logo. Maybe just straight talking.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's what I included in this new intro.
Views.
Like, I don't know if we really heard it because, like, there was a lot going on here. But, like, one thing I decided to do was, hey, with my logo, because I love my logo. I love it because I had a friend who was a freshman when I was a senior. Like, we acted together, and she actually made it for me. I said, hey, could you do this picture and make Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, like kind of fuse both of our faces, and she was able to do that, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
So like when I showed that, I'm like, okay, that's like one thing I want to show. But the one thing I added, which was different, you know, I got all these tracks from this very, very nice person, but at the same time, I'm like, I've always wanted the things I like to do, or like friends have told me, man, you like the rapper type shit. You're always saying or you're always saying like the ad libs and shit. So I was like, I'll just say an ad lib, and like I was literally in front of a mic for like an hour saying like different things, what I want to do to catch an eye. And the one thing I was like, it's time. And then boom, the song starts right there. Boom. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah. And then when I was thinking about it, I was like, this is frustrating, but what if I just add different ad libs every time there's an intro?
Yeah.
And say different things. Or, you know, what if there's, oh no, the thing I like that people do like on podcasts or any other thing is when they do a compilation of probably the funniest clips that happen throughout the, like maybe it's an hour, but they clunk it all together in like 10 seconds or like 15 seconds like of just reactions and different things. Yeah.
Like, I want to do that too with YouTube, but I think YouTube and Instagram are two different things.
Yeah.
Like you have to like reels, like YouTube shorts. They're kind of like reels.
They all come from TikTok, really.
Exactly.
And that's one advice that, see, I met a YouTuber years ago. Not really met. I never met him in real life. But like we talked, and then we ended up, you know, talking on PlayStation and different games and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he was a YouTuber, and he would stream, and then, you know, consistency. He just kept doing it. He ended up blowing up a little bit, you know, having a little bit of a goal. And he's still doing it. He's better than he was before, and I can see the change, and I'm very, very happy for him. Shout out Scar FX. But then he was like, man, like Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, like that wouldn't be, I don't even fucking use those. And I was like, yeah, I could see that. And he was like, well, it's because I mostly just have to do TikTok because that's where all of his stuff is. And all the things he'll post, like recently he's been doing a lot of Rocket League or like highlights from his streams, and they're all based from TikTok. Why? Because TikTok is more, you know, it's like you said, like YouTube and Instagram, it's a different thing. It simply is. It's something that more people are on arguably, maybe. It's like one of those apps that's up there that's everybody seeing from everywhere. You also see different people blow up for like the dumbest reasons when they made something that's like 5-10 seconds or 20 seconds while other people are working their asses off trying to make good quality.
Yeah, it's sad, bro, but you gotta cheat the game. You gotta figure out.
Yeah,
what,
you gotta.
what
It's part of the
works.
game. Yeah, it's just all
Like,
going through it.
I have my certain style, but sometimes I kind of have to tailor it
To whoever
to
may
the
be
system,
watching, yeah,
you know?
or to a system too.
Yeah.
That's another thing, man. That's
Like
that's-
how, yeah, TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
They're all in the same category. But then you get to like longer videos. That's where you got like IGTV,
yeah.
YouTube. You know.
And
I
then
feel like, and the longer ones is where you can put more passion into it, and the shorter ones, little details don't matter as much because they're gonna get more views. They always do.
They always do.
Almost always.
But then when it's a longer one, that's where kind of the work starts and where it
Yeah.
gets harder.
It does get hard. No, you'd be surprised. Like, sometimes the longer ones, like for example, if I film
Ooh.
like a birthday party, or
Yeah.
or eventually when I start filming weddings, like
Yeah.
those are harder because they're longer. But say, or not even that. Let's just say a travel video.
Yeah. Travel video.
On travel video, I'm not gonna add all these special effects because I'm gonna get good, crisp, clean shots with cool transitions, but nothing crazy. Like no extra flashy stuff, no signs of this or that. Like just straight, like natural stuff. You know, raw footage.
Raw.
And then
yeah.
when I do like commercials, like for small businesses, then I get more flashy with it. You know.
Yeah.
And even though it's a shorter video, I add all these effects, and it takes up way more time than because when I have all this nice footage that I like a travel video, all I gotta worry about is making sure the shots are good, right? The filming aspect's good, and the editing. All I gotta do is pick the best ones. Like it's gonna be like a 2-3 minute video, but aside from that, I just gotta make the cuts match the music, and that's it.
Yeah.
But with the commercials, I gotta add all these effects, make it blend, overlays, sound effects. Like
It's a lot.
even though it's only a minute, but it's a lot of extra stuff.
It's a lot. There are times where I try to mess with reels, just for fun and whatnot. And
Yeah.
there are like times where I'm like, what if I try to do this or do this? And I'm like, whoa, all right.
Yeah.
It's a little bit.
It can get hard.
It can get complicated.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
it's part of a learning curve.
yeah,
I mean,
and
like,
learning curve, and it also depends on you too. Like some people, like certain things a certain way, maybe a more crisp style. Some people, are a little more not lazier, but it's just their style almost, and it fits to them.
Yeah.
It fits.
You just gotta find what works for you, bro.
Find what works, and consistency is key.
Yeah.
Man,
Stopping.
let's wrap this up like a pretty bow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. There's also a bit of gratitude I got to give, man, because if you didn't say, hey, bro, if you weren't free Wednesday, because, I restarted the podcast because of, I had a little incident I'll tell you after because I'm not going to, put it all on there. But it was also time for me to also, I felt down the line, I was like, I got to drop the high school part at some point. I wanted to rebrand pretty much.
Yeah.
And man, I was also going through what happened was a transitional period. So I was like, man, do I really want to do this at the same time? But then it's just a matter of, hey, bro, you want to do it? And then I was like, fuck yeah. And then on Saturday, I got my first episode of this new podcast was recorded. I was supposed to be 2 other guests, but my best friend flaked. But then he said, I'll just do it another time. I'm like, fuck yeah, you will. Because he flaked on me 2 days in a row. We're like, you want to do this and then do that, and goddamn, I'm tired. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's all good, but thank you so much because, and also when you said you were late, I worked on some intros, edited another one. I got real far, and I got my ball rolling.
Yeah.
So
Productive.
brought to you by Ornelas Productions. Follow him. Right there on your screen, he's got the BSL stamp, meaning he can come back and do it again like Steely Dan at another time and place. Follow us on Instagram at Barrera Studio Lounge. New clip coming Friday. Y'all will see the intro I showed Alfredo. This clip is going to be about AEW and Forbidden Doors pay-per-view this Sunday. Disclaimer, welcome to the lounge. This podcast included music. Steely Dan, Do It Again is playing. Welcome to the lounge, but the journey continues, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you all later.